Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my story of my social media announcement in May of 21 of no longer touring in Christian music as a musician. In March of 2020, the pandemic shut down the entertainment industry, ceasing all tours and live events. Like many touring musicians, I came home with so much uncertainty. Was this the beginning of the end? What's going to happen next? How am I going to provide for my family? Thankfully, the artist I worked with at the time kept anyone that was on salary throughout the pandemic through business loans. I know there were musicians not so fortunate. Thankfully, being a session musician at the time, I had built a business and rapport with music producers and songwriters where I worked remotely with. Years ago, I also got into managing and growing businesses outside of the music industry. 2020 was a time to reflect on what God would have next for our family. I even thought, do I still want to tour in Christian music when the world opens back up? In my heart, I honestly didn't want to. I found myself listening to mainstream music more often than Christian music because really it's some of the music I grew up on and the things that inspired me to originally play music. I needed to find a way to fall in love with music again. I had the epiphany that because I was a Christian, that I could only honor God through playing Christian music. I realized that I could honor God through playing mainstream music just as well. January 2021, I received the phone call that I had dreaded all throughout 2020 from the artist's manager. First thing he said to me is that he didn't even want to make the call, but he had to. The manager let me know that he had to let me go after 3.5 years of touring with this particular artist on good terms. My firing had nothing to do with moral conduct or musicianship. The artist made the decision to bring back a previous guitar player for when the world would open back up later in 2021. Well, at that time, my family and I lost well over 1/3 of our income. Our family definitely struggled, but God showed up in the form of friends who gave without any prompting. If you're watching this, I'm so very thankful still to this day that you guys gave. In a way, being let go from the gig was a blessing. It was a way for me to find a new way to have a restart. Do I want to continue touring in Christian music or not? Prayerfully, the answer was no. So I announced in May of 2021 that I would no longer continue touring in Christian music as a musician. Even after that announcement, I still had multiple offers from major label artists that were in A and B markets, but my answer was still the same. I didn't have peace to say yes. More to come.